So, this ain't a topic I usually talk about, but it feels necessary again. Because of a recent conversation, as well as just being informed even more about issues that are happening. Because there seems to be a very obvious appeal to ignorance, and that is currently tearing the country apart. So, where do we even start with this? I think I'll start with a few words. If you're a white British person saying to stop immigration, to stop the boats, and that somehow there's definitely people in this category anyway, that somehow they don't want black people here. You're all pathetic and weak. You're fucking cowards. And that should really go without saying, but for some reason this needs to be explained. So, when I looked into these issues a few months ago, having been on that side myself for a good few years, I realised the error in my ways, and that wasn't rooted in demonstrable evidence. And all this fear mongering that goes around about immigrants, and I've even heard personal testimonies, by the way, about immigrants, and none of them can actually correlate immigration with crime. And the reason I think people who are protesting immigrants are pathetic and weak is because they don't favour demonstrable evidence, and they definitely do not favour the truth. Because that is closed-mindedness. When you specifically reject something because it doesn't favour your own personal beliefs or truth, that's a weakness. And you're also going to be a very weak person as a result. Having the honesty to admit when something's wrong and even say, like I've been saying this myself, I could be turned back to anti-immigration, but if you can't even be pro-immigration in your own head, then how the fuck do you even expect people to believe you? Because you only have one thing on your mind. And we know it's not immigration. We know it's definitely not that. It's definitely something more sinister, something more fucked up. And consider this being called out. Now we know what you're thinking. You want to harm people, you want to abuse people, and you want to get away with it. We've known this all along, as of many other people. It's been proven just time and time again through media that the majority of white British men who are anti-immigration, who are anti-race, they clearly do not, and even anti-religion, I should add, they're clearly not doing it because of those things. It's because they're hiding something. And the only way to recover from that is to hand yourself in, to put things right. And it also requires a change of belief, which in itself is a strength, because believe it or not, I used to be there myself to an extent for another issue that did lead to my mental breakdown. But I came out of it trying to redeem myself and do the right thing in the end, so that it doesn't matter what I did in my past, as long as I put things right in the present. And that's why I think the majority of people at the moment who do not currently do this are weak. It is literal weakness. So, as I said, there's only very few choices here. You either come out and confess, or you continue to be the complete arsehole you are, pathetic, weak, cowardly person that you are, and hide in your fucking tiny mind, telling yourself that it's okay to abuse people, it's okay to kill people. And if that ain't enough, then imagine if it were you. Imagine if you were the victim. You would realise you would very much not want to be in that situation yourself. And when thinking about anti-immigration and stop the boats, you need to be looking at what the people on the boats say, what the immigrants say, because their opinion matters more than yours. They're here as a guest, and you should treat them as such, regardless of how they got in or why they got in. That's just basic respect. And if they're not here for good reasons, then you have every right to be angry. And I'll definitely side with you in that sense, but I won't side against everyone. I'll just side against those people specifically who have malicious intent. So again, you need to think. And you definitely need to think before you act. Because the UK currently is in very big trouble if reform gets in. But it'll be in even bigger trouble then, because it means that these said white people, the cowards and pathetic people, these white British men will get away with anything and everything. And we don't want that. It'll tear the country apart. And if you hear about stop the boats, you should be thinking about the people who died to sea, who go out there risking their life to seek asylum in another country, who unfortunately die sometimes, and this includes women and children, some children who are not even 10 years old yet. And one of the stories I recently heard from Novara Media, who actually investigated the French immigration problem and people going on boats from there, there's a lot of families, a lot of children, and there are apparently stories where the French police will abuse children simply because they're trying to escape France. There's a story of a mother who was trying to escape to sea with a child on her back that was like 1 year old. And the police, being armed with tear gas, they attempted to get her back to shore by shooting tear gas, which caused both the mother and the baby to somewhat drown. They didn't die, I don't think, but it's very fucking dangerous. They abused a child, and one that is younger than 1 year old. So it really goes to show that these narratives do not do anything productive, they do not do anything constructive. They just seek to harm people, and that is the most weak-minded and cowardly thing you can do. What takes real strength is taking a stand and doing the right thing.